Yes, we are live. Hi, viewers. Welcome back to CricStic SL's latest series of shows covering the ongoing SLC Major Clubs 3-day league tournament for the season 2024-2025. And as in our first episode, I have Roscoe Thattil joining me as our expert analyst. Hi, Roscoe. Uh,
Hello,
how's it
hello,
going?
Aadhil. Yeah, good,
Hi.
good. It's been another interesting week. Actually, 2 weeks of cricket,
Yeah.
and yes, yeah,
Cool. Yeah. So as Roscoe said, so in this episode we'll be covering 2 weeks, the fourth and fifth match week of this ongoing season, and this is a season where every team gets to play 8 league games. So the league round or the league stage spans for around 9 to 10 weeks, and we are already done with 5 weeks, which is like that we have reached the halfway stage. So I think we'll have a lot of things to talk about. So yeah, and to start off, let me quickly show you a glimpse of how the points table looks like at the moment after the last 2 weeks. ඉතින් මම ගිය සතියේ කිව්වා වගේ අපි මේක ඉංග්‍රීසි and සිංහල දෙකෙන්ම කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ෂෝ එකක්. ඉතින් ගිය සති දෙකෙන් පස්සේ points table එක බලද්දී ගෲප් A එකේ කෝල්ස් ඇන් බ්ලූම්ෆීල්ඩ් ලීඩ් එකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. පොලිස් තමයි කලින් අපි අන්තිම ෂෝ එක බලද්දී උඩ හිටියේ. දැන් කෝල්ස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ගෲප් B එකේ NCC and Moors ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ ටීම්ස් ඔක්කොම last week wins record කරපු teams. And හරිම interesting group B එකේ bottom එක බැලුවොත් I think Roscoe you wouldn't like this. Candy Customs are just one above SSC, but SSC are at the bottom. So let's talk about SSC for sure. And in Group A, it's the neighboring clubs, Chilau Marians and Nigambu Cricket Club in the bottom. So before I move on to Roscoe, I'll just give a quick recap of the major results of what happened during the last 2 weeks. Moasesi, Bloomfield, Coles, BRC, and Tamil Union, all of them recorded one win each. So hence Moas and NCC are topping Group B, while Coles and Bloomfield are topping Group A. So those are the teams who recorded wins. Again, Moas, Bloomfield, Coles, BRC, and Tamil Union. And out of those wins, I would like to talk about one particular win because I think that win has that result has put one of Sri Lanka's or probably Sri Lanka's oldest uh, one of Sri Lanka's oldest cricket clubs in serious threat of getting relegated, and that's the BRC versus SSC game where BRC beat SSC. Roscoe, I'll leave it to you. Your thoughts on about that game. So I'm just sharing the scorecard of
yeah,
that game for our viewers.
yeah. So as you see, I think it was a pitch where it helped the spinners quite a bit. I think it was the same surface that we played BRC the week before as well. So it was a used pitch, and it was expected to take turn. And I think BRC adjusted better to their home conditions in comparison to SSC. And SSC did have a few players coming back into that game. I think Nuanidu Fernando was back. They had Nisala Tharaka back from injury as well. But still, I think Malinda Pushpakumara did what he does best in domestic cricket for a number of years. Great spell in both innings, actually, and ended up with 13 wickets in that game. So he was the difference with the ball, and with the bat, it was Roshan Silva with unbeaten 100 and Movin Subasinghe's 100, which was off just 56 balls, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, plenty of positives for BRC in that game. And yes, like you said, SSC are in serious threat of relegation with just 3 games to go. And I think 2 of those games are going to be against NCC and Moors, which are pretty tough opponents as well. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. So like Roscoe just covered. So I think 2 stalwarts of Sri Lankan first class cricket, Malinda Pushpakumara and Roshan Silva. I think both of them reached personal milestones in this game where Malinda Pushpakumara reached 950 first class wickets. just only second to some of Sri Lanka's biggest names like Muthai Muralidharan, Dilruwan Perera, and Ranganerath. So great achievement there. Roshan Silva, I think I would like to hear a word or two about Roshan Silva. I think he was he took a break from cricket. I'm not sure, but we didn't see him much in action. But he's back playing for BRC, and he's scoring a match-winning 100 against his former club. Roshan Silva, I think he officially retired from international cricket as well, right?
Yes, I think he has retired from international cricket, but I think he's nearing that 10,000 mark in first class cricket. So I think he's made an appearance in order to hopefully achieve that goal. I think he's about 136 runs short now after that century. So yeah, he's not played for a while, but yeah, he's come back and definitely helped BRC with that important win for them as well, who were struggling in that relegation zone a couple of weeks back. So yes, great contribution from the stalwart.
Yeah. Roshan Silva and Roscoe, you did touch about Movin Subasingha's 100 of just 56 balls, and if I'm not mistaken, it is in the top five in the list of top 5 fastest first class hundreds by Sri Lankan players. So that's like a great achievement. Sri Lanka have been playing first class cricket so many years. Players like Sanath Jayasuriya, Tissara Pereira, all have played first class cricket for so many years, and moving Sibasinghe to feature in the top 5, I think for a youngster like him is a great achievement. And I think you have played alongside him as well at Air Force, and I think few other places as well. So probably you know something about him, about his game, where you see him, he's going in the future as a hard hitter. Yes, Roscoe. About Movin Roscoe.
Yes, sorry, I think there was interruption in the connection
Yeah,
there.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so Movin, he has been, I think I can say, quite a consistent performer for the past 2-3 years, especially with his big hitting. And I think he's underrated off spin as well. He's always contributed with a few wickets, especially in the longer format. And I think he had an appearance for Gaul Marvels in the T10 semi-final, the Lanka T10, where he got a quick fire 32 of 14 balls. So he's been a very useful, handy cricketer, and he's a very strong striker off the ball. You don't see that much in the domestic circuit in Sri Lanka. So I think he's definitely someone to keep an eye on, Movin Subasinghe.
Yeah. So yeah, that was about a few key performers in that game to watch, if I can call that way. BRC ඉතින් රොස්කෝ කිව්වා වගේ SSC දැන් මේ මැච් එක පෙරදුනාට පස්සේ ටිකක් අසීරු තැනක තමයි ඉන්නේ. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන් දැන් group B එකේ අන්තිම ස්ථානයේ ඉන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඉතුරුලා තියෙන තව මැචස් 3ක් තියෙනවා. ඒ ඉතුරුලා තියෙන මැචස් බැලුවමත් ටිකක් ටෆ් ඔපෝනන්ට්ස් ලා තමයි ඉන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ට මෝස් එක්ක මැච් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඊළඟට මම හිතන්නේ NCC මැච් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් මැච් එක බැලුවොත් ටැමිල් යුනියන්. ඉතින් මැචස් තුනම ටෆ් නේද රස්කෝ? I mean we can't just say only two. I think all three games මැචස් තුනම හරිම ටෆ් SSC ලට. just මෙහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවොත් දැන් SSC වගේ ක්ලබ් එකක් හරි controversial වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, but okay, let's imagine SSC get relegated. How do you, I mean, මොකද්ද හිතන්නේ මේ කියන්නේ ටෝර්නමන්ට් එකේ ෆියුචර් එකට ඒ වගේ ක්ලබ් එකක් අපි කතා කරමු ෆැසිලිටිස්. ඒගොල්ලන්ට තමයි ලංකාවේ මම හිතන්නේ ටෙස්ට් වෙනියුස් තියෙන ෆස්ට් ක්ලාස් ක්ලබ්ස් දෙකෙන් එකක්. තුනෙන් එකක් ඇත්තටම. ඔක්කොම ස්ටේට් ඔෆ් දී ආර්ට් ෆැසිලිටිස් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ ක්ලබ් එකක් ඉමැජින් රෙලිගේට් වුණොත් කොහොමද ඇස් අ ෆස්ට් ක්ලාස් ක්‍රිකටර් ඒක දකින්නේ?
ඔව් මං හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ රෙලිගේට් වුණොත් කියන්නේ වගේ ෆැසිලිටීස් ඔක්කොම හොඳ හයි ක්වොලිටි හයි ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් තියෙන හින්දා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් වල ලොකු පාඩුවක්. හැබැයි දැන් තියෙන තත්ත්වෙත් එක්ක ඒගොල්ලෝ රෙලිගේට් වුණොත් මට පේන්නේ නැහැ මුකුත් වෙනසක් වෙයි කියලා. මොකද දැන් අවුරුදු 3ක් තිස්සේ ටීම්ස් ගොඩක් රෙලිගේට් කරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් එකෙන් කරපු ප්ලෑන් එකේ ටීම්ස් 14ක් වෙනවා මේ සීසන් එකෙන් පස්සේ. ඉතින් SSC රෙලිගේට් වුණාන් පස්සේ ඇත්තටම මොනා වෙයිද SSC රෙලිගේට් වුණොත් ඇත්තටම මොනා වෙයිද කියලා කියන්න අමාරුයි. හැබැයි ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ facilities wise අනිවාර්යෙන් domestic circuit එකේ ඉන්න ඕනේ club එකක්, no doubts about that. and ඒගොල්ලෝ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ටීම් එකට ගොඩක් players produce කරනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. ඒ වුණාට it's going to be very interesting for the in the coming weeks to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. Let's see how it unfolds, and may the best team win and remain in the top division. And yeah, so moving on, we just spoke about the results, the main games of the past 2 weeks, the teams who are topping the tables, and also teams who are in the bottom of the table. And so we spoke about Ragam and Badureliya last week because they had like disastrous starts with 2 defeats out of, or rather Hi. Yeah. Sorry, guys, about the loss. So yeah, so we were talking about the points table. I think I dropped before talking about Badriliya and Ragama. Right, Roscoe?
Yeah.
So just quickly, I'll recap it. So we spoke about Badruli and Ragama having like disaster starts in the first 3 weeks with 3 straight losses, but they have managed to recover despite Badruli losing 1 game. So I think from a points perspective, they have kind of moved to the safe zone, but still it's not over. There are a few more games to go. Anything can happen. Roscoe, quick thought about Badruli and Ragama's recovery during the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Badrule actually beat Ragama to get up to that 6th position, and I think they were in a very good position to win that game outright. But the third day of that game was washed out with Ragama trailing and only 5 wickets left in the second innings. And Ragam CC actually beat Police, who have been a pretty good team in the last couple of years in domestic cricket. That was last weekend, and that was another crucial win for Ragam CC. And yeah, as it stands, Badurliya and Ragam CC are in the safe zone. However, we must note Chilau and Nigambu both have played 1 game less than them. So yeah, like you said, plenty to play for in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Great. So it's interesting to see like teams who we think had disaster starts recovering, and the table being shuffled across week after week. So let's hope and see. And I think it adds to the excitement of the tournament. And fingers crossed, let's plenty to play in the coming weeks. So having covered the points table and the main matches from the last 2 weeks, I think now we can move on to the player performances. And if we look at the individual performances in the last 2 weeks from a batting point of view, I think Geeth Kumara's 165 not out in that game for Baduriliya CC in that game where they beat Ragama CC stands out as the best batting performance of the last 2 weeks. Roscoe, a word about Geeth Kumara?
Yeah, again, Geeth has been a veteran first class cricket in Sri Lanka. He's always scored consistent runs, and that was a very crucial match winning performance and set up a first innings win. It ended up being a first innings win. Like I said, that was the game where it was rained off and Badulio only managed to win first innings. But yeah, he's been a very quality, solid batter, the top order for any team he has been representing for the past few years.
Yeah. And moving on from Geeth Kumar, so talking about the Centurions in the last 2 weeks, Sitara Gimhan for Moors, Kusal Mendis for SSC, Angelo Pereira for Nugegoda against his former team NCC scored 100. Kasun Aberatna got 100 for Bloomfield. We spoke about Roshan Silva's 100 for BRC. Dhananjay Lakshan and Chamindu Wickramasinghe scored hundreds for Coles and SSC. Pramod Madhuvanth back amongst the runs 100 after some time for Nigambu. And we spoke about Movin Subasingha's 100, quick fire 100 for BRC. And Roscoe, I would like you to talk about Dhananjay Lakshan and Chamindu Wickramasinghe. Similar type of players, batting all-rounders who could bowl some seam up. And Sri Lanka, at the moment, we don't have like a settled fast bowling all-rounder in the test squad. Angelo Matthews used to play that role. Dasun Chanaka played a bit. Chamika Karunaratne just one game. But Chisara Pereira played a few games. But apart from that, we have not had a like settled fast bowling all-rounder. Dhananjay Lakshan, Chamindu Wickramasinghe, maybe Janit Lienege. Where do you see, especially these two, Dhananjay and Chamindu, since they've performed in the past 2 weeks?
Dhananjay Lakshan unfortunately has fallen off a bit from the radar of Sri Lankan cricket, but he's definitely putting his hand up, especially with the bat. And Chamindu Wickramasinghe is someone Sri Lanka cricket has been looking closely in the last few months. So I think it's interesting. I think they need a bit more time with the red ball in domestic cricket. From what I've seen, they're pretty decent batters, but I feel to be quite useful with the ball in Test cricket, I think they need to do a little bit more work on their bowling aspect with the red ball. They've been useful bowlers in white ball cricket, in T20 cricket especially. However, with the longer format, there is a few skills that they might need to hone in order to be considered for a spot in the Test team.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, yeah, I think if we are considering a spot as an all-rounder, definitely both skills have to be upskilled to the test standards. We are talking about test cricket, definitely. And talking about potential players who could get call-ups. We spoke about Sonal Dinusha in a previous episode, and now he is in the Sri Lanka Test squad playing facing Australia when the test will start tomorrow. I'm not sure if Sonal will get a debut, but we never know. But that's, I think, a great big break for Sonal Dinusha. His maiden call-up for any Sri Lanka squad, any senior Sri Lanka squad, be it tests or limited overs. And a quick look at the most runs table. Sahan Kosala continues to lead the table with 499 runs. No centuries in the past 2 weeks, but he still leads the table with an average of 62.37. Ravindra Asantha in second place with 391, and Roscoe Thattil at third place with 391 runs in 9 innings. 350s and a best score of 88. I think that 88 came in the fourth week, if I am not mistaken, right, Roscoe?
Yeah, I've actually had 2 scores of 88. Missed out on a couple of centuries, so yeah, a bit gutted. But yeah, I'll take where I am set at the moment.
Yeah, great. Shot at Sri Lanka Test call up, Roscoe, middle order.
Let's see.
Can
It's a long
bowl
way
a bit
to
of
go.
medium pace, spinners as well, handy bowling option.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, we'll take it game at a time. We'll see how it goes. But
Game at a
yeah, it's
time.
been a pretty
Yeah.
decent season. Yeah.
Yeah. Great to see you featuring in the top 5, Roscoe. And then at number 4, Lahiru Udara for NCC, another player who is in with the test squad. I mean, this is not his first call up. He has been with the squad for quite a while. Uh, Probably a test debut if he gets picked to replace Pathum Nishanka tomorrow. I think it's a call up between Lahiru Udara and Oshada Fernando. So let's wait and see how that goes. And Angelo Pereira, former NCC captain, now playing for Nugegoda, featuring in the top 5 with 100 in the last week. Yeah, so that's about batting. And moving on to bowling. So we spoke about Malinda Pushpakumara's 13 wickets for BRC against SSC. So that's the standout performance during the past 2 weeks. And another bowler who picked up 13 wickets in a single game is Tharindu Ratnayaka for Tamil Union. He's leading Tamil Union this season against Candy Customs, Roscoe. So I think you can talk about that performance of Tharindu Ratnayaka.
Yeah, he's been very good. Like I said, another consistent performer for a long time, and obviously he's ambidextrous. So I think he got quite a few batters out with left arm spin, especially the right handers, and then against the left handers, he was effective with his off spin. So that's a great luxury to have for any red ball team, especially because he almost covers the workload of 2 bowlers. And yeah, he bowled really well in that game. Picked up 13 wickets and led his team to victory. Yeah, he was the skipper as well, like you said.
Yeah, brilliant performance from Tharindu Ratnayaka. And Tharindu Ratnayaka has been in the spotlight, player of the tournament in the Hong Kong Sixers, where Sri Lanka won, and he has been doing well in the LPL, the Lanka T10. So probably a call up around the corner. Let's wait and see. And an interesting name, Ravindu Fernando. He is also currently the third highest wicket taker in the leading wicket takers list. More of an all-rounder, but a very handy bowler. If you look at the stats, but I think Roscoe, you maybe you have seen him better, and maybe a word or two about Ravindu Fernando's bowling.
Yeah, his bowling, I think it's improving, and this season he has contributed to a couple of wins for Bloomfield. I think there was one season where he did really well with the bat as well. However, his batting has, I feel, faded away a little bit, but he's definitely still a very useful batter. And his off spin is looking like it's improving. And Sri Lanka, at the moment, I think Nishan Piris is the lead off spinner, but in the domestic circuit, you don't see a lot of off spinners in that list. It's usually mainly left arm spinners in that list. And it's nice to see Ravindu Fernando among a lot of left arm spinners, and obviously Tharindu Ratnayaka, who's an ambidextrous spinner. But other than that, in that top 5, it's all left arm spin.
Yeah. And I think we should have a quick word about Chanaka Ruwansiri. So again, that game where Badurilia did well against Ragama, he bagged 8-wicket haul. I think he played 1 or 2 games for Gaul Gladiators in one of the LPL seasons. And another stalwart of Sri Lanka first-class cricket has been playing for a long time, keeps producing such performances time and time again. Chanak Ruwansiri, a word on Chanak Ruwansiri, Roscoe?
Yeah, I must say he's more known for his hard-hitting batting. But yeah, that performance was a special performance. 8 wickets with the ball, and leading his team to a very useful win. But yeah, like you said again, consistent performer over a number of years, and yeah, it contributes to another win again.
Cool. Yeah, so that's Chanak Ruwansiri. And then quick look at the leading wicket takers after the 5th week. Dilum Sudhira continues to lead the pack. He is ahead of Tharindu Ratnayaka by massive 10 wickets. So Dilum Sudhir is having a great season so far. Tharindu Ratnayaka, ambidextrous spinner, we just spoke about him. Ravindu Fernando, once again, we just spoke about him. 26 wickets, third place. And Malinda Pushpakumara. I think he has been consistently featuring in the top wicket takers list for the last, I don't know how many seasons. And again, at fourth place with 26 wickets, and Chanaka Kumasaru, another stalwart left-arm spinner. So so the top five features all spinners, three left-arm spinners, one right-arm off spinner, and an ambidextrous spinner in Tarindu Ratnayaka. And I'll just quickly mention the fast bowlers who did well in the past 2 weeks. So we have three 5-wicket hauls taken by fast bowlers. One was Shiran Fernando for Moasesi against CCC. Mohammad Shiraz, who recently made his Sri Lanka debut for BRC against Candy Customs. And then Sampath Nishank, a young left-arm fast bowler who plays for NCC versus Nugegoda. Roscoe, have you seen Sampath Nishank bowling?
I haven't really seen much of him, but I've heard he's quite a useful bowler, and obviously 5 wickets in that game against Nugegoda. I'm sure it'll boost his confidence for the coming game, especially with NCC missing a couple of their quicks. One Geeth Kumara to national duty, and I think Dushmantha Chameera is at the ILT20 as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is something which I noticed, but what's with NCC and unearthing like fast bowlers? Because I see most of the like prominent fast bowlers playing for NCC. Dushmantha Chameera coming from NCC. Dushmantha Chameera, Nipun Ramsika used to play for NCC for a long time. I think he still plays for NCC. Asith Fernando used to play. Geeth Kumara, Chamika Karunaratne, now Sampath Nishank. Amshi Disilla used to play. What's with NCC and fast bowlers?
Yeah, I think Chamika Gunasekara is there as well. So
Chamika Gunasekara, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's becoming a norm where a lot of fast bowlers end up at NCC and then go on to play for Sri Lanka, and some already do play for Sri Lanka. But yeah, I think the pitchers at NCC as well kind of aid the fast bowlers, so it's a temptation because not a lot of teams in first class cricket play 3 or even sometimes 4 fast bowlers, whereas NCC is a team who will definitely most likely play 3 fast bowlers. So fast bowlers get better opportunity, especially during their home games, and yeah, generally NCC is considered a good place to be if you're a fast bowler.
Okay, so that's some inside information from the Sri Lanka professional cricketers, community. Yeah, so as outsiders, I've always wondered why is it a good fast bowler or young fast bowlers always end up at NCC and then go on to play for Sri Lanka. So yeah, it is pitchers play a huge part in that. Yeah, and then Shiran Fernando and Mohammad Shiraz. Shiran Fernando, I think Mohammad Shiraz, we know, has been performing consistently, made his debut for Sri Lanka as well. Shiran Fernando, I think a couple of years ago, was a regular feature in Sri Lanka squads, but he never got to play a game. And then probably a quiet period, and then he's back amongst wickets. Or how do you see Shiran Fernando? Current
Yeah,
form?
he's a decent bowler again. That 5-wicket haul should help him to gain a bit more of the confidence that he has probably lacked, I would say, for the last 12 months or so. He was in the frame and very close to probably playing for Sri Lanka at one stage, like you said. But yeah, that 5-wicket haul should give him a lot of confidence going ahead with a few games left in this tournament.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. So we covered 2 weeks of cricket, and then we have around 4 to 5 more weeks left, with most of the teams having 3 or 4 games to play. And it's still an open race. So there are two fights, 2 races actually. One to top their respective groups and play the final, which will be a 4-day game, and the other race would be to avoid relegation, because if you end up in the bottom 2 slots of your group or respective group, you'll end up being relegated and also losing first class status. So that will be a huge loss, and there is no promotion as of yet as well. So probably it will start in 2 years later or 3 years. It's not, I think it's not announced yet, right, Roscoe?
Yeah, I think it should start from 2027. So yeah, 2 years, like you said.
2 years down the line. So
Yeah.
getting relegated now could keep you out of first class cricket for at least 2 years. So there is that risk as well, that there's that threat. So anyway, going forward, so I think pretty much all the games going forward will be very important for the teams who are playing, and for the players as well, with the national players busy with the test matches. So there are some vacant slots to be filled as well. So for youngsters and fringe players to grab opportunities. And yeah, so Roscoe, any final thoughts before we wrap up the session, wrap up the episode?
Uh, I mean, it's mainly what we discussed. Like you said as well, a lot of interesting games coming up at the top of the table and at the bottom of the table. So yeah, looking forward to all those games.
Yeah. And thanks once again, Roscoe, for joining us in another episode. And wish you all the best for the upcoming games. And we wish you to have wish your team all the best as well, to do well and avoid relegation and do well, and for you as well. Thanks, viewers, for joining, and we'll be back in about 2 weeks' time with the latest news from the SLC Major Club 3-day tournament 2024-2025 season. Until that, stay tuned.